Okay, welcome back, 7th graders. We're going to do another English workshop assignment, so please go ahead and get out your book, a highlighter, and 2 different colored pens or pencils. I used red and blue, so if you like red and blue, get those 2 colors out. Otherwise, just be consistent with the colors that you use to match my colors. So go ahead and get out your supplies and then we'll get started. Okay, please turn to page 213 in the English Workshop book, and we're going to work with indirect objects and objects of prepositions, and we're going to learn how to place the correct pronouns in sentences in our writing. Okay, to begin with, go ahead and highlight Rule 16D, and the indirect object of a verb is always in the objective case. Now, you just look at the name of this part of speech, indirect object, and you know it's going to be an object pronoun. I mean, it just makes sense. Go ahead and underline the next part. An indirect object is a noun or pronoun that tells to whom or for whom something is done. Let's look at the examples. It'll make better sense to us. Hadiya sent him a birthday card. Him tells to whom, it's the indirect object, and Hadiya sent a birthday card. It's answering what he sent, and so it's the direct object. All right, now let's look at the next examples. Could you make me a sandwich? Me tells for whom you could make a sandwich. Okay, so me is telling for whom, and sandwich is answering what. So we've got an indirect object and a direct object there as well. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. To choose the correct pronoun for use in a compound indirect object, try each form of the pronoun separately in the sentence. Now, we did this on the last assignment, the direct object assignment, and it worked rather well. Let's look at the example. Emilio Estevez sent Melba, and should it be she or her, an autograph photo? Okay, Amelia Estevez sent she an autograph photo. Well, that just sounds odd. She is a nominative subject case pronoun, and so we know it shouldn't belong there. Emilio Estevez sent her an autograph photo. That's the correct use because her is an indirect object in the sentence. It needs to come from that object pronoun list. Okay, so the right answer is Emilio Estevez sent Melba and her. That's the compound indirect object. An autograph photo, and photo is answering direct object. Just a little reminder, you have to have a direct object if you have an indirect object, okay? So you can see that all of these sentences do have indirect objects and direct objects. Okay, let's go ahead and work on exercise 7 using pronouns as indirect objects. Complete each of the following sentences by writing an appropriate pronoun in the line or lines provided. Use a variety of pronouns, but do not use you or it. Okay, let's look at the example. Did Lorenzo loan his sister and him money for the tickets? Okay, and we know that him is an indirect object, so we know it needs to be an object pronoun, so that one works well. Go ahead now and complete numbers 1 through 10, so it's 1 through 7 on one page, and then 8 through 10 on the next page. Go ahead and pause the video now and complete all the exercise number 1 through 10. Okay, now here's another cheesy answer, but it's really a good lesson. If these are indirect objects, they're all going to be object pronouns. So the list that I've typed over to the side, me, him, her, they, us, your answers really can only come from that list. But your answers could vary. Like number 1, we gave her an award for being such a great coach, or him an award for being such a great coach, okay? And so you've got to, choose a logical answer there, but both of those fit. So please look at all of your answers, number 1 through 10, and just make sure you chose object pronouns for every answer. Okay, now we're going to highlight Rule 16E. The object of a preposition is always in the objective case. And once again, it just makes so much sense. Object of a preposition is going to be an object pronoun. Okay, let's underline the parts down below that. A prepositional phrase is a group of words consisting of a preposition, a noun or a pronoun that serves as the object of the preposition, and any modifiers of that object. So let's look at the examples. I've underlined the prepositions in red. For, after, in front of. Now I've underlined all the object of prepositions in blue. For me, object of preposition me. After Meredith and him, object of prepositions Meredith, him. In front of us, object of preposition us. Okay, if you need a full list of prepositions, look on page 115. That's good to know. You might even want to kind of tab that page so that you can refer back to it quickly. Okay, now we're going to do exercise 8, choosing correct pronouns or objects of prepositions. I need you to go ahead and cross out the instructions because I have a different plan for us right now. And then write in the correct instructions. Underline the preposition in red and then choose the correct pronouns, okay? Which will be the correct object of preposition. Example, the musical was directed by him and her. Now I've underlined the preposition by and I've chosen the correct object of prepositions. These are object pronouns, him and her. Go ahead now and please do numbers 1 through 10, just like we did the example. Pause the video as you do these, and then you can turn the video back on when you're ready to check your answers. Okay, now that the video is back on, please check your answers 1 through 10. You can pause if you need to spend some time to make sure you've underlined the correct preposition and then underline the correct pronoun acting as the object of preposition. And if you have any questions, please come ask me or Miss Naylor. Okay, you did a good job today learning some more about object of prepositions and indirect objects and direct objects and how pronouns acting as those parts in a sentence will always be object pronouns. So hopefully you've learned a lot today and can apply it to your writing and your speaking. Thank you for working so hard.